It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. They've got Donovan Mitchell. Durant is out there with Pascal Siakam. Then there's Chamberlain, and it's Harden in at the point guard. And for the Nets, we've got Kawhi Leonard. Morant is out there with Jimmy. And it's Durant, and it's Gobert in at the... Here we are, Greg, in Game 1 of the NBA season. How does opening night feel different from the rest of the season, the rest of the schedule?
Well, Kevin, it's the excitement of the unknown. Everybody comes in with the highest of expectations, right? You got new teammates, some new wrinkles, still a lot to figure out and shake out over the course of a long season.
Now here's Harden, lock at 6. Puts up a deep three. Gobert pulls it in.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
It's good.
Man, he is working them over on the inside. I'll tell you this. Kevin Durant every year gets more comfortable with the physicality of defenders. Incredible.
There's Siakam. Durant for 3. Gobert pulls it in.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Here's LeBron.
LeBron James, ever the showman with an exceptional slam there. One of the best dunkers in the history of the game.
And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. Now here's Durant. And the Hornets miss again.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Hey, DB, we don't see a lot of them, but from what you have seen and heard, what can the Charlotte Hornets do better to improve their overall game?
Well, I think one of the things you have to look at is what are they doing successfully on the offensive end and what are their weaknesses? One of the weaknesses is drawing fouls and getting opportunities at the free throw line. To me, Kev, the best teams do a good job of getting easy points, whether in transition or at the charity stripe.
Basket counts.
Yeah, I'm amazed at Morant's ability to take contact and still stay in full control.
Harden, no good.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
LeBron kicks to Durant. Lets it go with a 3. And he's good on the 3-ball. KD's got 5.
Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Here's Durant, and KD throws it down.
Yeah, that's the size and reach of Kevin Durant at the rim. Yes, sir.
The drive by James, and James throws it down.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. And timeout is called by Charles Lee. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. Charlotte's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Leonard against Durant. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Leonard. KD can't get it to go.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
Durant with a screen on Siakam. Leonard finds KD. And he uses the glass on the lane. He's got 7.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Siakam outside. Looking for Chamberlain. He gets it there. A shot by Harden. Wide open. The basket good off the assist from Chamberlain.
Well, the pre-shot preparation of James Harden is exceptional. He knows in this instance that as soon as the ball touches his hands, he's got to be ready to fire.
Now here's Morant, and he gets the bucket. Morant's got his second basket.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
I know it's early, but you have got to like the dominance down low. Right now, they are playing bully basketball.
Harden gets the bucket.
Well, this is the basis of James Harden's game, right? That three-point accuracy opens up every other aspect of the floor and his scoring ability.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, D.A.?
Kevin, Rudy Gobert has tied for the most defensive player of the year awards all time, but he's challenging himself to do more offensively. He said it's all about just being okay with missing or making mistakes, freeing my mind and doing the things that I work on to get out of the shell that I was being put in. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David Aldridge, we thank you for that report. Hornets trail by 9. Mitchell outside. Cranes the three-pointer.
Boy, how quick from the touch to the release for Donovan Mitchell. Look out, defense.
KD with it. He's got 9. Takes it inside, and then Durant with the dunk.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge. Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Morant passes to Leonard. Morant against Harden. It's Morant with the drop. The rebound. By Wilt Chamberlain.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
One of the most efficient two-point shooters in the history of the game, Kevin Durant from the mid-range.
Here's James after the made shot from KD. And James throws it down hard.
That is why the ticket price is what it is when LeBron is in town. Amazing dunk to finish the play.
Here's KD. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. Durant's got 6 points.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
The three from Morant. And no good in the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
A lot of high motor play from them in this one, allowing them to kind of charge through the defense and find good looks.
And their assist total also impressive early, creating with the pass and playing for teammates.
They've got LaMelo Ball. Lauri Markkanen is out there with Ayton. Then there's Cam Johnson. And it's Halliburton in at the 2-guard. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Inside. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Look, to steal a line from you up high and down hard, Jonas Valanciunas. Go ahead, big fella.
Inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. And you know, Brandon Miller may not have the experience, Doris, so far in the NBA, but boy, does he have a feel for the game.
And Kevin, that to me is something you can't teach. The ability at a young age to read situations well. He can mix his pace. He can create his own open space for his shot. The game has already seemed to slow down for this young guy.
And the Hornets making a change here. Siakam's checked in. Seems like every time, Greg, we see Tyrese Halliburton, he's wearing a big smile on his face.
Talk about a guy who just loves this game. Halliburton is such an enthusiastic player, and that positive attitude really affects his entire team.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Miller. And it's Ayton with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that.
Here's Ball. Johnson kicks to Markkanen. Ball, the pass to Halliburton. Markkanen sets the pick for Halliburton. Over Nance. That one wide left. And here's Miller. He'll bring it up for the Hornets. Trailing by 10. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip.
And this is where Miller continues to improve, creating off the dribble.
Ball feeling it out of it. And Ball slams it in.
Some power coming from the PG.
Ah, that's right, GA. Seeing more and more of that these days. Backcourt guys who can elevate.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. Looking for a breather. And maybe just one or two things to talk about. And a new group in for the Nets. Durant's checked in for DeAndre Ayton. James comes in for Lauri Markkanen. Leonard, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's John Morant in for Halliburton. And a switch here also for Charlotte. Donovan Mitchell's checked in for Miller. And here's Harden for 3. And the Hornets miss again.
And not a night he's going to want to remember. Just not really able to score the basketball.
And then Durant with the dunk.
Yet another monster night for Kevin Durant, one of the best scoring forwards in the history of the game.
Morant against Mitchell. Valanciunas sets a screen for Mitchell. And again, the Hornets missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
James against Siakam. 14 feet away. LeBron, no good.
Normally he'll drill that shot, and I'm sure they'll look to find him in that spot again.
No doubt. Very good play call, good execution. Sometimes it just doesn't fall.
Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
Just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
Nance outside. Siakam deciding where to go with it. Good, and the assist goes to Mitchell.
This is an evolving part of Siakam's game. Everyone wants to see him get more confidence at the arc.
Good.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Harden the pass to Siakam. Back to Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Okay, James Harden showing you I've still got the vertical in my bag of tricks.
Mitchell against Morant. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Now Harden. He's got 8. Siakam outside. To the inside. And the jam by Larry Nance.
A signature slam from the big fella. We've seen a few of those before.
Outside Leonard. To the paint. Here's KD. KD, so efficient in there.
There's the unselfishness of Kawhi Leonard, keeping his teammates involved.
Harden against Ball. Kicks it out to Harden. It's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Valanciunas.
Well, this is the kind of pass that gets everyone excited. It's also how you build great team chemistry.
LeBron, good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
The Hornets have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Harden inside the three-point line. Brooklyn with the rebound.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
James absorbing hits on the drive.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
It's Harden with the drive. It's not going to go for him. Excellent D there from Ball. Stolen by Harden. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection. And it's... I thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. It would be an understatement to say it's been a great half for the Brooklyn Nets.
It's not just about taking a shot. It's about taking the right shot. They've made a lot of good decisions out there.
Sometimes you just have a great night. Here in the studio, that's, I guess, every night, huh, Shaq?
I would agree, my brother.
All right, fellas. Let's now take a look at what's to come on the upcoming schedule. Thanks for spending halftime.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Siakam is out there with Chamberlain. Then it's Mitchell. Then it's Harden. And it's Durant in at the 3. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Shams Charania, who's calling in with a good story. Shams, what do you have?
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
You're right. What a performance. Hey, Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. The wide open look for Durant. No good from outside.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
You call this a groove, folks, offensively. When shots are falling, you're getting to your spots. LeBron James right now on his personal playground.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Hornets trail by 18. With a short break in the action gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, the new leadership in Charlotte has made it clear that it's not going in for quick fixes. The goal is sustained success, building with youth and development. Call it roster flexibility or a blank slate. But with some promising young players and more health, there's nowhere to go but up. Kevin?
Health is huge. That's the hope. Hey, David, thank you. Siakam's shot is off.
Listen, simply put, he's got to finish that. It's not like the defender was right on top of him.
And always hovering around the 50, 40, 90 mark, Kevin Durant is both prolific and, Greg, efficient.
And, Kevin, you want to talk about guys in this league who make winning plays time and time again? KD is right at the top of that list.
What's striking about LeBron James is how his game has morphed to now it's all about guile and smarts and experience. He continues to dominate just in a different way.
That's tipped and stolen by Leonard. The drive by James. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. He's ready to talk things through with the team. You know, Greg, one thing you notice, we were just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise.
And a whole new lineup here for Brooklyn. Here's Harden. Charlotte no good that time either.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses.
Shoots it. That one no good. Good D by Mitchell. Harden dishes to Chamberlain. Kicks it out to Harden. Goes back up. Indeed, Chamberlain drops it in.
After an ugly 0 for 4 to start the half, they get one to fall.
And it's Halliburton penetrating. Ayton, the pass to Halliburton. The kick out to Ball. 6 to shoot. Harkin in a screen on Harden. Here's Ball. And that one dropped. Ball's got his second bucket.
The basketball IQ is already so impressive. Love seeing LaMelo Ball get crafty in the pick and roll.
Harden outside. Back to Mitchell. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That is his first foul of the game. Nancy's checked in for Charlotte.
Coming out to the floor for the away team, number 22, Larry Nance.
Nets leading by 20. Third quarter action and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Ball with the bucket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, here is Harden. 8 points for him. Here's Mitchell, and it's Mitchell with the jam.
There's a level of tenacity by Donovan Mitchell on the interior there. Wow, what a finish.
Ball up top, guarded by Harden. To the middle. Ayton in the corner. Pass the ball. Halliburton for 3. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Halliburton's got 9 points.
Yeah, this is his game, right? Halliburton wants you to forget how deadly he is from 3-point territory. Look out.
Harden outside. And then Durant with the jam.
Boy, you cannot let Kevin Durant have that much room to take off. This guy is tremendous as an alley-oop finisher.
On the wing, Johnson. It's blocked. KD with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. And there's the foul. It's on Cameron Johnson. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Hornets. Valanciunas, who's checked in for Chamberlain. And it's Brandon Miller in for Mitchell. Here's Nance, and the jam by Larry Nance.
Boy, that play developed just the way they wanted, and Valanciunas made sure they got the bucket. What a tremendous pass.
Here's Ball, and he lays it straight in. Ball's got 6 points in the quarter.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Here's Durant. Takes it off the glass. 10 points for him.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Halliburton looking around. Here's Ayton. Second shot opportunity. He takes it up and lays it in. And the Nets lead by 21.
Well, we're talking about a big-time rebounder. DeAndre Ayton's timing excellent.
Pass to KD. Rebound, Brooklyn. 15 seconds left to play here in the third. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Substitutions on the court.
$11 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Pass to Edey. There's Miller with the three. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Miller's got 6 points. Got it off in time. He's off on that one. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Yo. I was playing. Huh?
And let's take this chance.
Yeah, he hit me private. He hit me on my phone and said something.
Just true artistry.
Aren't you guys still in that group chat?
With the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket.
I
And he knew what to do with it once it was there.
I mean, it's the last quarter of my game, about to eat
And there
something.
have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Durant is out there with LaMelo Ball. Then there's John Morant. Then there's Tyrese Halliburton. And it's James in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Morant kicks to KD.
No.
James in the post. Siakam's there. That one drops for him. LeBron's got 20 points.
So you might want to check your sanity if you're trying to check LeBron James at the cup. My man can score in there.
Pass to Miller. Back to Mitchell. Down low. Charlotte moving it around to the inside. Williams.
Oh, let's go, LeBron.
This is the dunk.
It's
leading by 17. LeBron drives in. He gets it in there. 22 points for him.
Well, 6'8" and 200. Who knows how many pounds? But the King, one of the most apropos nicknames in sports.
Pass to Williams. Back to Mitchell. Shoots over Morant. And the shot is good. Dropping in off the front of the rim.
Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. Even a decent shooter is going to make that with no pressure.
James in the post. Covered by Siakam. Again, the Nets for 2.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. Chamberlain's checked in for Williams.
Game start.
Siakam kicks to Nance. Mitchell wide open. The rebound by the Nets.
I guess even he has. It's one of those once in a while.
Durant with the jam.
It's not just that Kevin Durant scores it. It is the efficiency with which he does it. This guy, you can lean into him on the offensive end.
Halliburton against Miller. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Chamberlain a screen. 3-pointer. And the Hornets miss again. And here's James. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. That'll be the second of 5 straight played at home. Hornets trail by 21. Siakam passes to Mitchell. Greg, a lot of parity around the NBA. Do you think fans like that?
It's a great question,
No.
Kevin. And there are trade-offs, but as a league, you've got to foster competition and live with the results. And the reality is, doesn't it feel better when there are more teams that have a legitimate chance to win it all?
KD sends the pitch to LeBron.
No more.
They simply can't bite on that pump fake from
Watch this. I tried to dunk it on these niggas. Damn, the wind blowing. All this stuff.
LeBron because he is waiting for you to leave your feet, and he's going to lean in to get to the line.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Nets.
I like this throwback approach they're taking, looking to score high percentage shots in the paint. And so far, it's working.
Also, I just love how hard they've taken the ball to the rack. They've made a point of attacking, and it's led to them getting buckets.
Durant's checked in for the Hornets. James Harden comes in for Miller. Here's Chamberlain.
Oh, good block, KD.
I think it's probably the most underrated aspect of Kevin Durant's game. He's elite
Oh,
defensively
God.
and sends that shot back. I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
KD looking around. Chamberlain takes it out to Siakam. Harden against Morant. 6 on the shot clock. Again, Chamberlain missing.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
Yeah, you have to make greater effort than that defensively. You know what he can do from range.
Well, to me, that's just inexcusable. You start to wonder how much they really want this basketball game.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. Dinwiddie outside. Here's Valanciunas, and it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Well, how about that floor awareness by Spencer Dinwiddie, getting his guys the basketball in great spots.
And can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Charlotte has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we reached the fourth quarter. The NBA has always been a star-driven league, Greg, and that's reflected in team strategies now more than ever before.
It is. All over the league, teams now building their systems around their stars, surrounding them with complementary players and running the offense through them as much as possible.
Here's Miller, and James pulls it down.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often. And as we head to the closer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Nets.
They never settled for mediocre shots.
And Kevin, they had great penetration this time out.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they win their first game against the squad. It's a 2-game season series.
Miss a shot.
For the sweep the next time they face off.
That's all.
You know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LeBron.
They simply can't stop him right now. This guy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They're trying to hurt LeBron.
All the officials are all over that one.
That was attention.
That one is off.
They'll make a
The racing
touch
history of the
to
Nets. Now, Greg, they're always looking for a big splash or a quick fix to be competitive.
And Kevin, this franchise has sold its future more than a few times, but they always find a way to bounce back. You hope they don't go for a quick fix with this group.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. James finds James. Elbow shot is on the way.
James, to go Brownie.
They made the most of
of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable. Yeah, surprised he doesn't have more shot attempts. He's been accurate. You'd think he'd want to take control now with them behind.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
First free throw is good.
Shooting for Charlotte, Kevin Durant. 2 shots.
And that's good as he hits both of the shots. Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. 1 second left to play here in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
And they've got this one just about wrapped up.
It's not completely over, and they know that. But if they carry out their game plan, they should be golden.
And now, let's take a look at the New Balance player of the game, LeBron James.
And his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Ja. A lot of swag on this team tonight. Who's responsible for that confidence?
I feel like we all talk to each other, even the coaching staff. Coach let us play with a lot of freedom. Everybody have the green light, so I mean, there's no reason to lack confidence when you have a coach who believes in you every step of the way and just let you know.
Thank you, David. And that about does it for the first game of the...